All right, for beginning your pastels, first I want you to have your photo up on your computer to reference. Even though you have your face transferred, I want to keep the photo on your computer so you can see both and kind of follow that roadmap that the posterized face has. Second, have your value scale that you created ready. So I've kind of got mine laid out here. Three, have your pastels ready. So I've got the pastels that I need to create that. And then my advice is start light and work in with your dark colors. So if I am going to move on to this, I'm going to go ahead and take a moment to kind of look at my layers, and it's generally easiest to start in a point like this where I go from a very light layer and gradually recede into that dark edge of the cheek. So I'm going to come in and do my light layers first and then kind of layer out gradually. So the beginning of mine is white. If you have a pastel that's kind of gunky, I've got all this on it, I would take it over and scrub it off on a sheet of paper, and you can see how it's cleared that area, but the rest is still dirty. So the area that you know you're going to be working with, take some time and clear it off. I just keep a spare sheet of paper with me so that I can clean my pastels at any time. Nothing worse than going in with a lighter color thinking you're going to get it in the right spot, and then it's got like black or another dark on that lighter area. Okay, so mostly cleaned and ready to roll. When I start with this, I just like to lay in my lighter zones. So I told you that I'll mostly be white here. I'm careful to kind of outline that zone. Right now, I'm just going to do this cheek. I'm not really going to mess with much else. This is all just kind of like base layer white. So hit a little on this cheek. Very, very carefully in these areas to hit my nose. So I guess I will dabble a little bit into the other areas just to kind of get that base layer. I'll mess with the lighter areas up in the face here in a little bit, but I've got whites laid in. It's kind of shaping to the corrugation a little bit. I'll normally go from there straight to my next color on my value scale, which really is a blend of the white and the pink. So I'm going to come in, or light and the white and the red. So I'm going to come in with just a hint of this on that outside edge and go a little bit darker into this cheek. And then I'm going to lightly bring the red into that zone. Not heavy, just really light. All right, so this is where I now want to come in with my white again and go back over that and blend that to the pink that it should be. If I had a really good pink pastel, I probably would have used it, but my kit, the pink was more of a neon. So I really encourage, you can blend with your fingers, but I really encourage using the pastels to blend colors. That way you get a nice clean transition, and then you can always go in and touch up with your finger if you'd like. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of continue this back and forth as I layer. I'm going to bring in a little bit more red on top of this, and this just kind of helps continue to promote the blending that I'm looking for. It's going to look a little ridiculous in this stage, so just keep in mind that it's going to be nice in the end, and be patient with yourself, because I have a lot of students who want to give up when they get to this stage and they think it looks terrible or looks like clown makeup. But remember, you chose the value scale. If you stick to the lights and darks, it will look right. You just have to take time to lay in all the layers first. So until you've laid in all your layers, don't be too critical. All right, lower part is starting to blend a little bit better. This is where I can kind of take it up my next notch to more of my magenta, a little bit darker, and start to blend into those darker shadows that I've laid in, and try to get these colors to start to mix. A little bit more as I creep into the dark. Now, areas that I know will be darker, I can come in with the black, but I really don't want to go heavy with black in any area. I'll just be looking to lay in a little thin line, and then I'll blend it. You could come in and blend with your finger. You could use a blending tool. I normally will just give a light swipe with my finger and then come in and blend over top with another dark color to make those lines kind of fade. I don't want that line to be so strong. It's just the shadow of that lip needs to be there. Same thing down here. My maroon is not dark enough under the nose, so I'm going to bring some black in to kind of give this a little bit of a darker zone. Just a hint. So it may look like a lot of black, but I'm going to bleed that in with this maroon. If you feel like you've gone too dark, then I would take it a notch lighter and go back to that base red or another color, whatever you are wanting to use there. But that way the black is not as strong. Really, I don't want to use any pure black on this. I need to blend it into the areas that I'm using it. Might bring some to the outside there a little bit. All right, we're getting there. Really important to have that photo pulled up if it's hard to see what certain areas looked like. If you need to go back in and re-reference that, I think it'll really help bring out the values if you have lost them by covering them up. Okay. Some areas get a little rough with texture, so if you're getting a lot of bumpiness from the pastel, then come over and just give it a light smudge with your finger to kind of take it down a notch. I almost always keep a wipe nearby if I need to come in and clear my fingers off. I try to do different fingers for different areas, so a lighter, one finger for a lighter, some for a darker. That way I don't accidentally mix those colors where I don't intend to. Okay. All right, we're getting there. So now I want to continue this glow on the face inside of the glasses. Then we'll lay in this dark maroon for the neck. I might emphasize this a little bit lighter than it actually is, just to make that neck stand out a touch. So I might just give it a hint of a glow, even though it doesn't really have it. Just coming in down here with a little streak of this. Just a little something. Okay, so the nose is looking a little uneven now that I back up and look at it. I can always go back in and adjust this or widen this zone in here. That helps a touch. I don't want to overdo it or try to do too much. Might just leave it there and then come back in. I'm going to take a moment, clear my fingers. Keep in mind, this is just kind of how I feel comfortable doing it. You can modify this in any way that works for you. Clear my fingers. I got fresh blending slate here. Okay, so I want to avoid the glasses line for now. I know that's going to be a spot of highlight, so I will take my pastel and angle it and kind of grind it down, and that helps clean all this junk off of it. And I'm going to keep rotating it when I do this and slowly kind of work it to a fine point. There's another side I need to clear, but I want to get to a fine point so I can come in and draw this very tiny rim of the glasses. So it just kind of highlights there for a moment. Same on the other side. Very, very short. Glimmer. And then really the rest of the glasses should be dark. You've got little hints of light on the inside and outside of the rim up there, and a small little hint inside. So I'm just looking for those little reflective spots on the glasses and outlining them. And then ones that I think I've gone a little too strong, I'll taper back a little bit. Because I really don't want to do a solid outline of them. But I always just notice having those lighter colors in early on really helps when I'm layering in later. All right. Now the drill. Inside of here, there's a little lighter zone I didn't see. Touch that up as I'm moving up. Often I'll need to move this, or need to get a fine line, so I'll tear the wrapper off the end so I get a fresh corner, and I'll use that corner so I can make like skinny little lines like that on that edge to come in and get specific spots. So if I'm like trying to ride along the rim of these glasses, now that helps. Some of that I want to hit with a little bit of white to kind of lighten, but not a crazy amount. And then I'll bleed that in with everything else. Then that starts to get dark pretty quick. Eyes can be pretty tough. Just take your time with them. If you feel like something's getting off, you can always take a tool and scrape back some of the work that you've done to kind of help shape that. I use these wonderful little like dentist tools to come in, pull away the pastel where areas where I didn't want it, maybe place a little bit where I do. Oh yeah, that looks creepy. And I might tone that down a little bit because obviously if you notice I didn't follow the drawing exactly, I kind of adjusted that eye to make it look a little bit more like I thought it should. But as the artist, you kind of get to make it what you want it to be, but I might go back and tone that down a little bit later. I think I might widen this pupil a little bit. Looks a little narrow. Just a little, and then I've got some room to work with. And that way I can thin it back down to get it to where I need it to be. I'm gonna tweak that shape a little bit. Not 100% happy with the shape of that eye. I think it's the white of the eye over here that's weird. My advice is just kind of keep messing with it until you're happy with how it looks. That's better. Still a little funky. I don't think this has to be turned down that much. Getting there. All right, this is kind of just the beginning tutorial. I'm gonna be doing like a part 2, kind of adding into this of making it a complete and finished product. So I'll be saving the progress until the next video. Thanks for checking it out.